Mr. Principio, you run a music club, so I'm reminded of a line from a very famous poet and singer named Morrissey, who said back in the 80s, has the world changed or have I changed? And I feel like in this case, we have to look at that. And I don't think you've changed. Doesn't sound like it. You're running a club, a big club. You've always run a big club. But then I have to wonder, has the world changed? And what you mentioned just half an hour ago, the fights you would have at Hammer Jacks, the trouble you would have there, the lawsuits you would have there, they may have been acceptable. They may have worked. The police department, the liquor board may have had less of a problem with some of those issues 20 years ago. I mean, because what we see when we look at your file is we see that you had your grand opening on December 21st, 2012, less than a year before these incidents occurred. You talk about the fact that you'd have a fight in your club for 5 months, but the board is not here today on any of those other 11 months. We're here on what's effectively a 32 or 33-day time frame, and that's all we're looking at. And that's when there's a record and there's a hearing, it's like looking at a photo, and the photo we're seeing is of the very end of October, Halloween, until December 2nd. And it doesn't look anywhere near as peaceful as you described the other months. We have heard both from Mr. Previs and Mr. Kadinsky, who have represented you well, that there are no arrests. You know, there's not a lot of arrests, so why the problem? The board is just so concerned, it just doesn't want to wait for more arrests in this matter. With the incidents that occurred in the 1st, the 8th, the 14th, the 22nd, and the 2nd, even though we threw out the one of them from that one weekend, it's too much too soon, and the board is extremely reluctant to allow another November another November 2013 to ever occur again. You know, you say you discovered Anglesey Street recently. And when we had this hearing back in October of 2012 for your transfer, we talked about there wasn't a neighborhood at all really around. And now, when you've come back, one of your exhibits is a scale drawing showing the Travel Plaza and showing that about 800 feet away are homes, residential homes. And we believe that while you don't have a next door residential neighbor, you have plenty of residential neighbors in near proximity. And we believe that the public safety for Baltimore requires that this license be revoked here today. Thank you. You have 30 days to request judicial review with the Circuit Court for Baltimore City. We're off the record. We're going to take a 5-minute recess.
The board will be in recess for 5 minutes.